Hi, my name is Pat Woods, and I'm the Director of Religious Education at Abraham Lincoln Unitarian Universalist Congregation in Springfield, Illinois. And I'm here today with your Time for All Ages. Now, as you probably know, today is a Flower Communion Sunday, and so we're going to be talking about that in our sermon, and I thought I certainly should do the same thing. So I went online, of course, to go find some inspiration, and I went to the UUA's Worship Web, a place I really recommend if you're looking for some spiritual enlightenment or some spiritual uplifting. And I found this beautiful poem. Now, I can't share the whole thing, but I certainly can share bits of it. It's called A Bouquet of People, and it's by Claire Feingold Thorin. Now, in this piece, she writes about the bouquet of people that we have in our lives, and I loved what she did with it. She talked about the children like tulips and irises, giving us color, beauty, and new life. She talked about generous friends, as constant as echinacea, who uplift us. She talked about crotchety friends, like rose bushes, serious friends who are complex as chrysanthemums, and all kinds of things. And of course, as you know, that kind of thing gets me thinking. So I started thinking about the flowers in my garden, the bouquet of people that I carry around. And I thought I would share with you some, because I'm going to invite you to make your own bouquet. Now, of course, well, not of course necessarily, but for me, my mom and my dad were two of the first blossoms that I thought about putting in my people bouquet. I thought about Dad because he gave me a love of learning. If it weren't for him, I probably wouldn't be the Shakespeare geek that I am. And if it weren't for my mom, I probably wouldn't be as dependable as I am. One of the things that this is Ken, one of the things that they both taught me about was the importance of being dependable and keeping your word. My cousin, although she might be my aunt, my mom was a Depression baby and she was adopted, which just messed up the generations. But in any event, Karen, my cousin slash aunt, has always been an inspiration for me. She's been a role model because she too is a teacher, and much of what I've learned about teaching, I learned from talking to and watching her. She also taught me how special I am. Maybe it wasn't the best way of doing it, but when I was 16, she asked me if I would babysit her house and her cat for a week. Well, of course, I love to do that. She also gave me the keys to her orange MG Midget. And oh my goodness, I had that car everywhere. I'm surprised I had enough money for the gas. But the fact that she trusted me enough to say, here, go ahead and take this. I think you'll enjoy this, really let me know what she thought of me. And even today, there rarely a day goes by when we don't contact one another and just kind of check in and see how things are going. So she's definitely a flower in my garden. My son, of course, my son David, this is a very, very young David. This is his little kitten, Little Bit. Unfortunately, we lost Little Bit to the family down the road. Apparently, they feed better cat food than we do. But David is such an important part of my life. We've just started golfing together, and he's a delight to golf with because between you and me, I'm really, really bad at golf, but I like it. And he lets me take a tee shot, and if it goes off into the high grass, he doesn't mind if I pick it up and toss it back on the fairway. We don't keep score, so I think it works out all right. I think when I'm better, he may want to keep score. But I am so profoundly grateful that even at this age, he's 24 now, but he has kind of moved from being my son to being my friend. Now, he'll always be my son, but at the same time, it's wonderful to have him in my bouquet of people. And just so you don't think it's all family, my dear friend Deb, she has been around for me forever. She is, when things are bad, she's the person I can call. When things are good, she's a person I want to call. And that's something interesting. Don't just call people when things are bad. Talk to them when things are going well as well. That is much more complete relationship. But she is one of the flowers in my garden for which I am most profoundly grateful. And then I started thinking, because we have so many of us in the congregation who also see our animal friends, our fur friends, as flowers in our garden. And two of my favorite flowers are my horse Gracie and my mom's horse, Taz. Now, Mom's not with us anymore, but Taz is. And what's really great, when I go and groom these two, or I ride one of them, or when I'm just talking to them or putting them away at night, they make me feel so peaceful. Animals are wonderful about that, aren't they? And that's part of the reason why I would include them in my bouquet. of creatures. So yeah, I have the most amazing array of people in my life that I could put together and put, I know, on my refrigerator. That's exactly what I'm going to do with these pictures. I'm going to put them together in some decorative way, and I'm going to put them on my refrigerator this week. And then every time I pass by the refrigerator, and I do pass by the refrigerator much more than I really should, but every time I pass by the refrigerator, I'll be able to look at that and say, that's my bouquet. That's my bouquet of people. That's my bouquet of creatures. And this reminds me how connected I am, and how very well loved and how well I love in return. Boy, I hope you do the same thing this week. Find those pictures, make a bouquet of it, and put it on your refrigerator or on a wall or somewhere where you see it every day. Let me know how that goes, will you? I'll see you next week. Bye-bye.